Here's your wrestling news for December 2nd, 2025. Your headlines for today include Jacob Fatu close to WWE return following brutal dental surgery. Scary scene, Rhea Ripley collapse on Raw sparks emergency response. GUNTHER and LA Knight reach tournament finals, major heel turn teased. CM Punk set for huge title defense on Raw Netflix anniversary. Adam Pearce's spy reveals new details on Raw's hooded attacker. Liv Morgan storms into Judgment Day segment, huge Raw moment. Logan Paul taunts 50-year-old legend, instantly slapped for it. WWE legend coming back with wild new gimmick. Huge new direction teased for Liv Morgan as WWE RAW goes off the air, and more. Jacob Fatu may have been left bloodied, battered, and missing teeth on SmackDown, but the Samoan werewolf is already inching closer to a return. A new report from PW Insider indicates that WWE is preparing to bring him back into storylines sooner rather than later. There was talk backstage at WWE Survivor Series that Jacob Fatu is close to returning to WWE storylines after taking time off to recover from a dental procedure. Fatu has been off television since the October 17th episode of SmackDown, where he was attacked by an unknown assailant. The attacker was never shown on camera during the segment. However, earlier that night, Drew McIntyre was seen lurking in the background during a backstage moment, a subtle but deliberate cue that pointed to him long before Fatu was found unconscious. When the show cut back, Fatu was found face down in a pool of blood, with multiple teeth scattered around the scene. Coincidentally, Fatu had also been dealing with major dental issues that were so serious they required immediate surgery, and Brian Alvarez, at that time, reported the same on Wrestling Observer Live. He needs some sort of surgery, something involving his teeth. He'll be back by Survivor Series weekend. The procedure wasn't cosmetic, it was medically necessary and significant enough to sideline him. WWE leaned into this real-life situation to enhance the storyline brutality behind his disappearance. PW Insider also added that Fatu's recovery is nearly complete and could be back on the road within the next few weeks, though nothing has been officially finalized. One source believed Jacob could be back on the road within the next few weeks, but an exact date hasn't been confirmed. With Survivor Series weekend behind us and Fatu nearly cleared, a return seems imminent, and fans are already fantasy booking who the Samoan werewolf should go after once he roars back onto TV. Who should Jacob Fatu target when he returns? Who, in your opinion, was behind Fatu's attack? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know your dream feud for his WWE comeback. The Vision opened Monday Night Raw with a major statement and a major addition to its ranks. Logan Paul is now officially part of the group, with Paul Heyman confirming that the former US champion fits perfectly into his long-term vision of the future of WWE. Heyman followed with an impassioned promo, shouting out every member of his War Games team before crowning Bron Breakker as the uncrowned World Heavyweight Champion. But despite their dominant win, Heyman and Breakker both insisted they had no idea who the hooded attacker was. Breakker, who scored the pin over CM Punk, said he was actually frustrated by how the match ended. He admitted he didn't want help, didn't want shortcuts, and didn't want an asterisk next to his biggest victory. For someone who grew up watching Punk, Breakker said he wanted to dig deep, push himself to another level, and beat the champion on his own terms. Fueled by that anger, Breakker launched into one of the strongest promos of his career. Breakker issued the challenge directly to Punk, declaring that on the one-year anniversary of Raw's Netflix debut, he intends to face him for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The second-generation star slammed the microphone down and stormed off, a moment that showed just how fiery and ready he is to step into WWE's top tier. Meanwhile, the mystery attacker remains unidentified. Adam Pearce made it clear he isn't buying the Vision's denials, especially after pointing out that Seth Rollins was seen at Survivor Series without his arm in a sling. But Heyman insists he knows nothing, even as Pearce scrambles to recruit referees and officials to get to the bottom of the attack. Who should walk out with the title on January 5th? CM Punk or Bron Breakker? Is it too early for Bron Breakker to hold the top title? Should WWE pull the trigger on a major championship win during Raw's Netflix anniversary episode? Or is a bigger stage like WrestleMania the ideal place for a moment that massive? Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. Jey Uso and LA Knight reignited their rivalry on Monday Night Raw in the first semi-final match of the Last Time Is Now tournament, and both men made sure it felt like a true toss-up from start to finish. The match unfolded with neither competitor able to hold momentum for long. Every move was met with an answer, every shift in control was brief. As the pace picked up late, Uso nailed a spear for a close near fall, only for Knight to fire back with a megaplex that still wasn't enough to keep Jay down. The final moments told the story. Uso connected with a picture-perfect Uso splash and looked to have the match sealed. But as he reached for the pin, Knight shifted his weight, trapped him in a crucifix roll-up, then stole the win in a sharp, well-timed finish. The camera immediately cut to a furious Jey Uso, who tore apart the ringside area in frustration, an emotional unraveling that continues the downward spiral sparked by his failure to become world champion. In the ring, the match delivered exactly what it needed to, a fast-paced, well-worked babyface encounter with the crowd invested from bell to bell. Neither man leaned into a heel roll, and the momentum never dipped. More importantly, the outcome keeps Knight rolling toward the finals, while Jay's escalating frustration finally gets the narrative push it's been waiting for. What did you think of Jay vs. LA Knight, and where do you see Jey Uso's story heading after another heartbreaking loss? Did WWE plant seeds of a major heel turn on Raw? Drop your thoughts below. With a spot in the finals of the Last Time Is Now tournament at stake, GUNTHER and Solo Sikoa squared off on Raw, a rare showdown between two of WWE's most imposing forces and their first meeting since their early careers in NXT. What unfolded was a bruising, heavy-handed battle. Sikoa came out aggressively, overpowering GUNTHER and shocking the crowd by steamrolling the ring general through the opening stretch. His early dominance carried straight into the commercial break, leaving many fans stunned on how decisively he controlled the match. Returning from the break, GUNTHER fired back with the precision and brutality that define his style. He targeted Sikoa's chest and body with those signature chops, each one echoing through the arena and knocking the wind out of the enforcer. As the match reached its closing stretch, both men kicked out of each other's biggest weapons, refusing to stay down. That's when the outside chaos began. Tama Tonga tried to interfere on Sikoa's behalf, but his involvement backfired. The referee caught him, turned to reprimand him, and in that split-second distraction, GUNTHER struck. The ring general delivered a low blow that went unseen by the official, then hoisted Solo up for his trademark powerbomb to secure the pinfall victory. GUNTHER now moves on to the tournament finals, where he will face LA Knight. The winner earns the right to challenge John Cena in his final match at Saturday night's main event, a career-defining opportunity with massive stakes. Which way do you see this going? Should Cena's last opponent be LA Knight or GUNTHER? And who would you choose to face the legend one last time? Let us know your pick in the comments below. Dominic Mysterio wasted no time soaking in the spotlight on Monday Night Raw, stepping in front of the Arizona crowd and declaring himself the greatest of his family, the king of the luchadors, and the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. He also made sure to credit the Judgment Day for helping him secure the title on Saturday night, praising Finn Balor, JD McDonough, Roxanne Perez, and Raquel Rodriguez for their roles in the victory. Then came the moment everyone was waiting for. Liv Morgan made her long-awaited return, rushing out to a thunderous reaction. "I'm back," she shouted, immediately embracing the crowd before shifting her attention to the speculation surrounding the Judgment Day's stability. Morgan dismissed the rumors that the group was weakening or splintering, making it clear that the faction is far from falling apart. According to her, Judgment Day runs Monday Night Raw, and they're coming for everything and everyone. To close the segment, Morgan playfully slapped Dominic before jumping into his arms, sealing the moment with confidence and attitude. The promo itself was solid, but the standout takeaway was Morgan positioning herself as the glue that keeps Judgment Day strong. Whether Finn Balor shares that sentiment, and what that means for her future inside the group, will be something to watch closely. One thing is clear, Liv Morgan's return pop was massive, fitting for someone who has been one of WWE's most popular stars over the last 2 years. Backstage, Morgan wasted no time making her presence felt. She approached Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer and casually reminded her that she's back, strongly hinting that she intends to be La Primera's next challenger. Is Stephanie Vaquer vs. Liv Morgan the match you want to see next? Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell us who walks out with the gold. Fresh off their victory inside War Games, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky opened Raw with a clear message that their rivalry with the Kabuki Warriors wasn't over. Ripley and Sky, now collectively known as Rio, announced their intention to chase the Women's Tag Team Championship. That brought out the former champions Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, who took exception to the challenge. Bliss stepped up and issued a match for later in the night, and Rio accepted, setting the stage for a high-stakes main event. The match that followed was a competitive, well-paced showdown between two babyface tandems. Bliss and Flair controlled large stretches of the action heading into and returning from the commercial break. A hot tag to Ripley shifted momentum, allowing Mommy to flatten Bliss with the Riptide and set up Io for the over-the-moonsault. Just as the match appeared to be over, Flair broke up the pinfall. Moments later, the Kabuki Warriors stormed the ring, causing a double disqualification. A chaotic beatdown followed until Bayley and Lyra Valkyria hit the ring to make the save. Then came another twist. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez of the Judgment Day arrived, cleared the ring, and stood tall. And so did Liv Morgan. In one of the night's most telling moments, Roxanne Perez passed the women's tag team title to Liv Morgan, only for Liv to gently return it right back. The gesture spoke for itself. Morgan wasn't stepping into Perez's lane. Instead, she made it clear that Perez and Raquel Rodriguez should be the ones pushing towards the tag titles, while Liv turns her attention toward a much bigger prize, the Women's World Championship. Liv's actions paid off her earlier warning that the Judgment Day was far from done making statements. With the year closing, WWE is clearly steering Judgment Day in a more layered, unpredictable direction, and Raw's final moments made that message even louder. There was one concerning moment during the match, though. Rhea Ripley attempted to lift Charlotte Flair for the Razor's Edge, but her knees suddenly buckled and she collapsed, dropping Flair straight onto the mat. Ripley managed to recover and hit the move later, but the incident immediately raised concerns about her current physical condition. The broadcast moved on quickly, but the uncertainty surrounding Mommy's health lingered. According to PW Torch, Ripley was evaluated backstage after the match and was declared completely fine, meaning there's no injury concern at this point. While Ripley is teaming with Io Sky in pursuit of the tag team titles, she's also tied up in another storyline. During her meeting with Damian Priest last week, she told him that she had an idea, hinting that she intends to work with him to confront one of the biggest threats currently facing her former partner. Until now, Priest has been dealing with Aleister Black and Zelina Vega on his own, but after that conversation, it doesn't look like he'll be fighting that battle alone for much longer. With so many moving pieces around her, Ripley's collapse adds a layer of real concern to an already heavy storyline load. WWE is heading into December with multiple intersecting stories: Rio vs. Kabuki Warriors, Liv's solo ambitions, Judgment Day's shifting hierarchy, and Ripley's uncertain condition. Nothing about these developments feels small, and the fallout could reshape the entire women's division. What's your take on all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. This week on Raw, just moments before the main event, Jackie Redmond caught up with Rey Mysterio for an interview. The WWE Hall of Famer is set to face Finn Balor next week and spoke confidently about the upcoming match, taking a pointed jab at his son Dominic Mysterio in the process. The timing made it clear WWE is continuing to lay the groundwork for another father versus son showdown. Before Rey could finish, Logan Paul stormed into the frame and immediately began firing shots at the legend. Rey responded by telling Paul he might be the only person on the planet more annoying than Dominic. That line didn't sit well with the former United States champion. Paul countered by calling himself a great father, something he said Dominic has publicly claimed that Rey never was. He escalated the tension further, vowing to retire Mysterio and put him out for good. Rey didn't back down, he followed by a sharp Spanish insult that WWE couldn't air. Tension snapped instantly. Mysterio slapped Logan Paul across the face, and officials rushed in to separate them as Paul shouted that Rey would pay for touching him. The confrontation left no doubt that this feud is far from over. With Logan Paul now officially aligned with the Vision, the dynamic has shifted, and Rey Mysterio may soon find himself targeted by one of WWE's most dangerous rising factions. A Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul rivalry heading into WrestleMania season? It certainly looks possible now. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods came out swinging from the opening bell, attacking with the urgency of a team desperate to reclaim the tag team titles. The champions were rocked early but held firm, absorbing the initial barrage before New Day managed to isolate Dragon Lee and cut him off from AJ Styles. Once Lee finally broke free, the hot tag to the Phenomenal One ignited the babyface comeback. Styles exploded into action, and Lee followed right behind him as the champions regained control. The match picked up intensity down the stretch, capped by one of the most creative spots of the night. With Kingston draped over the top rope, Lee climbed to the top turnbuckle and delivered a brutal double stomp that sent the former WWE champion flying straight into the arms of AJ. Lee then wiped out Woods on the floor, clearing the path for AJ to hit the Styles Clash and score the decisive pinfall, securing another successful title defense. This was a strong tag team match that easily could have gone even higher with more time. Kingston and Woods continue to prove why they're one of the greatest duos in WWE history, while Styles and Lee showcased fantastic chemistry throughout. And that finishing sequence? Easily one of the top 5 endings on WWE TV this year. What did you think of this match? Did Styles and Lee continue to prove themselves as one of WWE's best pairings, or do you think New Day should have walked out with the gold? With AJ's career expected to end within the next 12 months, should he be chasing the World Championship instead? Sound off in the comments below. A new vignette aired on Raw featuring Natalya putting Maxine Dupree through an intense training session, teasing the arrival of a very different version of the Queen of Hearts. The presentation strongly hinted at Natalya tapping into her low-key legend persona, the character she's been showcasing during select independent appearances over the past year. The brief segment didn't offer a timeline, but the tone made it clear that a character shift is coming. Natalya looked laser-focused, Maxine was fully invested. We did see Adam Pearce confirm to Ivy Nile that she is next in line for a Women's Intercontinental Championship match. That announcement likely stems from the ongoing tension between Ivy and Maxine, especially considering Ivy hasn't wrestled on television in months. Do you think Ivy Nile is the right choice for the next title shot, or should someone else be stepping up instead? Share your thoughts in the comments. That was Monday Night Raw this week, guys. How'd you like the show? Which match or segment stood out the most for you, and why? Sound off in the comments below. Don't miss our next video coming at 5:30 p.m. Eastern with all the latest wrestling updates. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.